Yo, what's going on, guys? Look, I want to talk about this camera situation, man, which is what was crazy. I was really shocked. So let me give you a little background. All right, so I've had 1 second. All right, so I want to talk about this camera situation. So I had been thinking about getting into a new camera, right? Getting into maybe a completely new ecosystem. In the time that I've had cameras, I've only owned Panasonic and Canon, and I really wanted to. I was thinking about getting into another ecosystem, maybe going back to Panasonic or sticking with Canon and going mirrorless. But I was a little concerned because the RF glass is still very expensive for Canon. But I wanted to just go into my local camera store where I usually do my business, and I wanted to try to find out, just how much money I can. Shoot, let me lock the battery. I just wanted to find out exactly how much I can get for my Canon 1DX Mark II. I've been using this thing for a while and I love it. I love this. The only thing that I don't like is that it's heavy, right? So that's the only thing I don't like about it. But so when you're doing like longer shoots, I do have a camera strap, but even still, it's heavy. It's a DSLR, right? But it's the Mark II. Obviously, they have the Mark III out. And obviously, if you want to go mirrorless and go with a 1DX, basically the 1DX on the mirrorless realm right now is the R1, I believe. R1 and maybe I think it's R1. But this thing is still a beast. It still shoots really good video, and it still takes really good pictures. But I was actually really disappointed because I went, like I said, to my local store, and this thing I thought would have commanded a lot more money than what they offered, and it was a little disappointed. I was willing to let go of all my lenses, which is like 3 lenses. I've got this one right here, 16-35. It's an older gen, but I have Sigma 18 Sigma lens, 18-35, I believe, and then I have another one. In the bag somewhere, but they literally wanted to only give me and offer me $700. I was shocked. I was actually really shocked. I was just like, wait, what? Wow. Like I was really shocked. Now, sometimes I will go on some forums, sometimes like to buy like certain parts or just things if it's a really good price. But I was really shocked that that's what they offered. And I was considering getting the R6 Mark II. I think they're about to come out with the Mark III. I'm not sure, but the R6 looked pretty interesting. Again, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and keep this and possibly think about getting into another camera soon. But like I said, the only thing that I didn't like was the RF glass is super expensive, man. It's more expensive than the cameras themselves, so it's actually pretty crazy. I think the cheapest lens that I saw was like $1,500. I mean, I think they had the R6 Mark II. They didn't have any ones with just the camera body. They had a kit lens, and I think it was right at $2,000, $1,999. Yeah, I was actually pretty shocked. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm just gonna end up just investing in more EF glass and continue to use this thing, and call it a day for now. What I am looking for right now is probably gonna be like a 70-200, because I want to shoot more sport stuff with my kids. When they're on the fields, and I think that 200 might get me to where I want to be, although I would be interested in something a little bit longer. But again, I'm always at games, so for the most part when we're doing indoor sports, I think that 70-200 would be perfect. Outdoor, when we're doing soccer and stuff like that, I believe that I might need something a little longer, because the fields are so big. So, and baseball as well. So yeah, I'm thinking about different stuff. I definitely want to add a 50 1.2. I just love the bokeh. I love the super sharp glass, or 85 1.2, and definitely a focal lens that's something longer. But man, I was shocked, man, and I was a little disappointed. I thought this camera would have commanded more at trading it in at the camera store. but it really didn't. And I was so shocked because, I mean, when I bought this thing still at a discount when I got this thing years ago. And this is what kind of, I won't say that gear makes your channel, but I had already started off my channel at that time, like around 2014. And I started off with like a Panasonic. I got like the first 4K camera that Panasonic had put out at the time, and it was like an FZ something. It had a fixed lens on it, and I didn't really care about that. I was just like, it's 4K, and not that many people have 4K because 4K had just come out. And I started off my thing with that and quickly realized after watching, like, I don't know what it was, but I started watching Peter McKinnon a lot at that time, and Peter McKinnon had one of these Canon 1DX Mark IIs, and it just looks so freaking good. It looks so crazy, things that he was doing with it. So I was like, I got to get one of these cameras. So that's what I did. I got one of these cameras, and I think I spent like $3,000 for it. And actually I got this lens for it, the 16-35. I had gotten that with it. And you know, when you look at the price of this camera when it first came out, it was like over $5,000. Same with the Mark III. When it first came out, it was super expensive, but such a good camera. Again, I kind of know what I want to use my camera for now. I use this a lot on the channel, doing my my tech reviews, and it just shot amazing video, obviously. And the slow-mo is creamy, and because it has the CFast card, it captures the megabits per second is crazy. So the 4K is not really comparable to like most of the 4K around its time. Now is much different, you know what I mean? Now is much different. The reason why I was considering turning this camera in is simply because I have stepped away from the tech reviews and stuff like that, and I have been using more of my other cameras, like my DJI Action 4, because I do motovlogging. I do a lot of motovlogging, and so, you know, I got, you know, the Insta360 X4, again, like I have the DJI Action 4, and I have an iPhone, you know, I got the iPhone 16, whatever it is, Max or whatever it is. And it really takes really good video. And what I've been noticing, when I'm like out and about, especially on the bike, I really hate taking my camera bag because this thing is so heavy, but it takes such good pictures. But I just find it way more convenient when I'm shooting video or whatnot to just use my motovlog cameras. Or to even when I'm doing something like a vlog like this. Oh, I forgot the other camera that I'm filming on. The Pocket 3. The Pocket 3 is an amazing camera, and you know, it's got face detection just like the Canon. It's really, really good. And you know, it shoots 4K just how I want it. 4K 60, 4K 24, the things that I want, you know what I mean? The DJI Action 4 shoots 4K up to 60. I love it. Insta360X, same thing, up to 8K, 30 frames a second. Not true 8K, but you know, you get it. And you can just crop it down and it looks even better. So I've kind of just like started looking around like, damn, like I really don't have a need for this camera anymore. Like it's just going to, right at this point, it's just going to be probably just a dedicated picture camera. And so that's why I'm trying to mull over I'm trying to decide if I really want to spend more money and get something mirrorless and go that route when I really don't use this for much of anything anymore. So I don't know. What do you guys think? You think I should just keep it and move on, or just trade it in or try to sell it on my own and get into something different? I mean, there's some other exciting cameras out there. Like I said, I do want to go mirrorless at some point, but yeah, Canon glass is super expensive, so that's why I consider going back to Panasonic and trying out some of their newer stuff. Obviously, I know that when it comes to video, it's not going to be as good as Canon, but it should suffice. But I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of give y'all that update. $700 for a 1DX Mark II. I know it's old, but I mean, damn, I was just shocked, man, because I spent $3,000 on that thing and I just was not expecting that. So anyways, Done with the rant. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.